Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Charles Sabansi. I want to welcome you guys to another episode of the Dreamerspro Show, where we cover everything from sports, hot topics, classic debates, entertainment, and where we give you guys a fresh perspective on things and how we see them. And today we got a pretty interesting show for you guys. But before we get into it, please make sure you like the video and subscribe to the channel. Now, as you guys know, I'm a Kobe guy, and we recently got some pretty exciting news that arguably the greatest Laker of all time, some people say is Magic Johnson. I think it's Kobe Bryant. I've heard Magic Johnson himself say that Kobe Bryant is the greatest Laker of all time. But we got some news that it turns out that Kobe's going to be getting his own statue in front of Staples Center that used to be called Crypto.com, but now they're going to be, I think they're going to be calling it Staples Center again, right? So this is some pretty big news, and I think it's justified. It makes sense for Kobe to get his own statue. I don't think that was something that was ever going to be in doubt even before his passing. I mean, he had that much of a legendary career for the Lakers. He was there with them for 20 years for the ups and the downs. So it was a pretty big, it's a pretty big thing, and I'm going to be excited to see what that, what that statue is going to look like. As a matter of fact, what I want to know is, what do you guys think the statue is going to be? I personally think the statue should be like a fadeaway. I think it should be like a fadeaway shot or something, because, he's so synonymous with those jumpers, those fadeaway jump shots. I think that would be classic Kobe, but I guess we have to wait and see. So y'all let me know what y'all think this statue is going to look like. But anyway, on the subject of Kobe, you guys know we produced a range of shows telling you guys why we think Kobe's in the top 5, top 3 of all time. Some people have agreed with me. Some people have disagreed with me, whatever. But to me, I think that Kobe's legacy is underrated. I don't think that enough people spend enough time looking at some of the competition that he had to face. And really, things started to change for Kobe in the middle of his prime when the Lakers were able to pull off a heist by acquiring Pau Gasol. That's when Stephen A. Smith had that infamous rant on Kwame Brown on, I believe it was SportsCenter. I believe Bill Walton was also on that show. I think Bill Walton and Rick Carlisle were on the panel that day when he was having his infamous rant on Kwame Brown. But anyway, I came across a clip of Brian Windhorst, who's one of the NBA insiders, who was basically detailing how that trade was able to come about. So what we want to do is want to play exactly what Brian Windhorst had to say in this clip, and then we're going to come back and give you guys our thoughts. So take a listen to that there.
Pau Gasol's arrival saved Kobe Bryant's last act as a Laker.
Yep.
Because that put everything together. They were already trending in the right direction. They had drafted Andrew Bynum. They had brought back Phil Jackson. Lamar Odom had arrived. They may have found a way to get there eventually. But the trade for Pau Gasol, guys, you may not remember this. It was a scandalous trade.
Yeah.
Nobody could believe the value that the Lakers got. They got him for Kwame Brown. And yes, Marc Gasol being an all-star. But at the time, Marc Gasol was a capital P project, not even playing in the NBA, a second-round pick. And to make this deal happen, they went and got a guy who was an assistant coach on the Philadelphia 76ers. Look it up. Aaron McKie was retired, coaching for the 76ers. They signed him, gave him $1 million, and put him in the deal to make the deal happen, because the Lakers literally gave almost nothing for this. They gave so nothing that they had to go invent guys to bring off the bench. It was a loophole in the CBA. That wasn't illegal. They ended up closing that loophole. But one of the reasons why there was zero sympathy in the league for Chris Paul's trade getting voided, because the whole league was still pissed off about the value that they got for Pau Gasol. And Gasol's arrival absolutely made everything fall into place. That team became an unstoppable force. They ended up winning the West 3 consecutive years, another couple of championships. The Miami Heat really were formed as a way to try to stop the Los Angeles Lakers. They ended the Big Three's control. The Big Three in Boston, I thought was going to win multiple championships. No, not once Pau Gasol became a Laker. So certainly his individual career is sparkling, but his impact on the league when he became a Laker is legendary. It's one of the biggest trades of the last 20 years. And there's no doubt why the Bryant family has such an affinity for Pau Gasol, because the Pau Gasol made Kobe's life bearable, because when he was losing as a Laker, it was unbearable.
So you heard what he had to say there. So at the time, I remember when that trade took place. I remember it. And I remember their first game being in New Jersey. I think it was a New Jersey game on the road against Jason Kidd and these guys. If Jason Kidd was still playing, I believe he was still playing for the Nets. And I remember Kobe, after the game, he would just, the elation on his face for the fact that he was able to get somebody as skilled, a big man, that caliber that was as skilled as Pau Gasol, because Kobe was right there. He was right there, and all he needed was that other, all-star to really help take his hopes of winning an NBA championship over the top, and essentially that's what happened. So some people I know have pushed back on me when I say that Kobe Bryant is a top 3 player of all time, but I believe so. So let me just give you guys the information of what happened after the Lakers were able to acquire Pau Gasol, because what ended up happening after that was nothing short of legendary. Let me give you guys some information. As you guys know, some of you may know, Kobe Bryant was in the peak of his powers. He was the best player in the world. Period. End of story. He was the guy. He was a standard in the NBA that everybody was trying to live up to, and you saw this on the Olympic team. You put somebody like that on the team, and all of a sudden, the whole entire energy of that ball club totally changes. That's what happens when you have the best player in the world. And the fact of the matter is, how can you not be the best player in the world when people are following your work habits? If I'm better than somebody, why am I following their regimen? So it just goes to show you that in fact Kobe Bryant was head and shoulders above the rest of the league. So when they were able to pull out that trade, what essentially happened was the Lakers would go on a 2-year run, right? It was a 3-year because they went to 3 straight championships. But anyway, they went on a 2-year run, and in a 2-year window, the Lakers ended up beating more 50-win teams in a 2-year stretch than Magic Johnson beat in his entire playoff career. I want you guys to think about that for a quick second. In 2 years, Kobe and the Lakers beat more 50-win teams than Irvin Magic Johnson faced or beat in his entire NBA career. From 2008 to 2010, the Lakers beat 9 teams with a 50-plus win record in the playoffs. But I personally believe that run that they had in 2009, 2010, that was a season that for me put Kobe Bryant over the top, along to go with just how good of a basketball player he was. Because in round 1, that year they beat the Oklahoma City Thunder that featured James Harden, Kevin Durant, and Russell Westbrook with Serge Ibaka. That was a 50-win team. Second round, they beat the Utah Jazz with Darren Williams and these guys. If you remember, then you remember. If you don't know, then you don't know. Those teams were really, really tough. Those Utah Jazz teams, especially playing in Utah. Then in the third round, they ended up beating the Phoenix Suns, who had a 54-28 record. And then the one that sealed the deal for me was when they went to the NBA Finals and faced another 50-win team, which essentially was a super team. When he went against 3 top 75 players in Paul Pierce, Ray Allen, and Kevin Garnett. And by the way, that team still had Rasheed Wallace, Eddie House, Tony Allen, Nate Robinson, and Kendrick Perkins, although Kendrick Perkins was in and out of that series. And they were able to beat that series, which to me made that run so impressive. Now, throughout that stretch, because Kobe, if I'm not mistaken, is the only player in NBA history, and I could be wrong about this, and I think it may be him and Akeem Olajuwon, but I think it's just Kobe, that has won back-to-back championships against top 75 guys, multiple top 75 guys, and never had a top 75 teammate. Kobe was the only one. Now you can point to the Shaq and Kobe run. Yes, you had that run as well. But the run with the Lakers, who was the other top 75 guy? Pau Gasol just got inducted into the Basketball Hall of Fame. So you have Pau Gasol, but who was the other person? So to me, it was nothing short of sensational. During those runs, his splits were 29.2 points per game, 6 rebounds, 5.5 assists on 45.8% shooting, 37.4% shooting from the 3, 84.2% shooting from the free throw line, and he scored and he got you 1.2 steals a game during that year. So to me, man, that's just one example. And I thought it was something that we needed to touch today. So what I want to know from you guys, number one, what do you think about what Brian Windhorst had to say in terms of that trade? Number two, what do you think about some of the points that I made? Whatever you guys think, please leave your thoughts in the comment section, and we catch you guys on the next show. Peace.